Hi, everyone. We're coming to you live on 2K Sports, bringing you the NBA. Alongside Greg Anthony and Steve Smith with David Aldridge on the sideline, this is Kevin Harlan. It's the Chicago Bulls and the Chicago Bulls. And it's going to be the Bulls off the tip. Pass to Paxson. And here is Jordan. And the call will be against Lonzo Ball. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Paxson. Vucevic with the block.
Well timed by Vucevic. Not a center who piles up blocks, but this guy picks his spots.
I can't believe that went in, and I don't think he can either.
Now here's Pippen. And here's Jordan outside. Shot left block. And he drops that one in.
High offensive IQ. He makes great reads and adjustments on the fly.
Inside. And slam dunk by Vucevic.
Nice speed from Lonzo Ball to the wide open man. He has a good eye for those openings.
To the middle. Court right. No good from Paxson.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
And he gets the whistle. Two free throws coming up.
You know, and a 7-footer that can play the entire court. Vucevic is a tough cover because of that versatility.
So he gets them both.
I'll tell you, he doesn't give points away. Excellent job from the line.
Offside Pippen. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Here's Jordan. And he drives in. Makes it off the glass.
And we've seen it. He can do this all game. Jordan with a great burst there to get the finish.
Down low. Levine. Here's Vucevic. And that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up two on the second effort.
That's just staying in the moment, keeping with the current possession.
For three, Pippen. Second chance shot. Pass to Jordan. And he overshot that one, missing.
High percentage look for him. But bottom line, they're not all going to go down.
Here's Levine. Driving to the basket. And Levine throws it down.
Some people say Levine settles for too many jump shots. This time, he doesn't.
No good from Paxson. It's been a quick start here for Chicago. 6-point game.
An explosive, high-level athlete. You see why Zach has won multiple dunk contests.
Now here's Pippen. Outside Jordan. Back to Pippen. Jordan at the elbow. That falls. Nice feed that time from Scottie Pippen. Jordan's got 6 points. And so it's Ball with it. He brings it up for Chicago. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in, bangs home the trifecta.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Bulls trail by 9. Now Armstrong. And 3 from Jordan. And they recover it. Outside for Pippen. Drops in the tray. Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Here's White. Drops in the layup for 2.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Outside Jordan. Pass to Purdue. Out to the right wing. To the paint. There's the 3. Jordan can't get it to go. And the Bulls making a change here. Chicago leading by 8. Levine with it. 6 points for him. Six to shoot. And Jordan sends it back.
And one of the league's most effective shot blockers from that guard position. Jordan can do it in help defense or on the ball.
51 seconds left in the first quarter. Pass to Armstrong. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan.
Yeah, and this is what happens when you have a scorer like Jordan on the floor. He attracts all that attention defensively, leaving guys wide open.
And the shot goes in.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
And it's Armstrong missing.
And even with good coverage defensively that time, he has confidence to drill the 3.
Right side, White. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's DeRozan. And that one, good.
Well, that is one situation that DeRozan is huge for. He can bail out a team with the shot clock ticking down.
And so it's Chicago. Ahead by 9 is the quarter. And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for Chicago.
They've gotten a lot of high-quality shots in the paint early on. That was clearly part of their game plan coming in.
And the other thing, though, is their execution in terms of their ball movement has been flawless. Sets up a lot of easy scoring opportunities.
Now here's White. To the inside. Williams. And Williams with the stuff.
His playmaking is improving. It's encouraging to watch Kobe White dice up the pick-and-roll defense.
Buries it from three-point range.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooters.
The lob to Bradley. He can't hit that time.
Well, that alley-oop attempt, a case of what could have been, just didn't finish the play.
You know, this is something you practice over and over again. I'm surprised they couldn't execute.
Yeah, but I just love the winning mentality that Grant brings. A big bruising forward who can score at a steady clip.
Now here's DeRozan. Picked by Vucevic. Over Pippen. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
And for a big man, Vucevic is pretty efficient at the line. Really has a complete game.
Good on both.
When your bigs can make free throws, it's a huge advantage. Love his approach to getting to the line.
Right wing. Here's Armstrong. And Vucevic pulls it down.
And I'm sure next time he sits down, coach is going to have a few choice words for him with that shot selection.
And you know what? He knows it. You have to try to play within the system or you're going to come away with empty possessions.
Stolen by Pippen.
Not a problem. First turnover of the game, but overall, I like how they're taking care of the basketball.
Here's Livingston. Here's Armstrong. And again, no good by Chicago. And we're a little over a minute and a half into the second quarter of action. On the wing, Green. Here's White. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Pass to Pippen. From beyond the arc. Lets it go with a 3. Here's Armstrong. Lets the 3 fly. Rebounded by Vucevic.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And Levine, here we go. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It goes on Horace Grant.
Showing that electric speed and quickness, Levine pushes the action, draws contact.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
Yeah, nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line.
Outside Pippen. Uncovered. It's good. Pippen's got 5 points so far. Chicago leading by 10. Now here's White. Down low. Here's Vucevic. Vucevic gets double teamed. Here's White. From outside off the mark. Bulls trail by 10. Shoots from the block. And it's Armstrong missing.
Well, he wants to shoot his way out of this cold spell, but the struggles continue.
You know, to me, this is when you want to focus on creating for others. Give someone else a chance. It's called a teammate.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, the league remains in love with three-pointers, but DeMar DeRozan remains true to his game. He says, if I see 100 people walking left, that doesn't mean I'm going to do the same. I see this clear path and want to stay right. Shooting threes, I feel like I'm settling. Whereas I think anytime I drive, I'm going to score or get fouled. Kevin, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, but DA, I love that strategy. Thanks for that story. Here's Levine. The Bulls knocking down the 3. And the rejection by Pippen.
And it's always been about the effort defensively for Pippen, known as a stopper and a fantastic shot blocker to boot.
Some nice ball movement by the Bulls.
What I like, he hasn't stopped competing despite the off night.
Outside, Levine. Vucevic with the bucket.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Outside Pippen. Pass to Paxson. For 3. Rebounded by Vucevic.
And it's still a rare sight to see rebound numbers like the ones he's had tonight.
It's incredible, and I'll tell you what, it's a joy to watch. There's more to his game than threes and dunks.
Here's Levine. That's in, and that's his 4th basket of the night. He's taken 7 shots, a solid 57%. And here's Paxson. Pippen for 3. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. It's the Bulls up 10. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway. And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. And so it's Ball who brings the ball up for Chicago. From deep three-point range. Five on the clock. Second shot opportunity. The shot will not fall. And it's Chicago the other way. Out to the right wing. Pass to Jordan.
Come get it.
Now Paxson. From downtown. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan. Paxson's got the first basket of the third quarter for Chicago. There's the pick. Inside. Here's Bradley. Pass the ball. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. Yep, that one goes.
Yeah, that was the third straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Got a piece of it. And stolen by Jordan. And the dunk by Jordan.
A good job there. Jordan getting them in transition, and he does so much. You almost forget how dominant he can be defensively.
Now, here's Ball. Now Bradley. Missed inside.
Offensively, that's how you want to end the possession, except for the result.
And, you know, that level of physicality that Grant brings inside is awesome to watch. He does a great job with finishing with that power above the rim.
Both teams will make substitutions. And it's the Bulls with the ball. Leading by 5. There's a screen by Williams. Here's Caruso. And again, Chicago. No good. Coach is liking what he's seeing from his offense.
And, guys, they put the defense on the defensive.
And 3 from Jordan. The Bulls leading by 5. Outside DeRozan. Pass to Vucevic. And slam dunk by Vucevic.
And that's the 7-foot difference for Vucevic. Tough defense, contact. It doesn't do enough to throw off his ability to make that shot.
And they get it back. Jordan with it. It's picked off. Williams can't hit. Bulls trail by 7. Outside Jordan. Here's Paxson. Here's Pippen. Pass to Paxson. And he's good on the 3-ball. Paxson's got a pair of threes now here in the third for the Bulls.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense. Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
Also, if you can't get stops at this point, it really doesn't matter what you do at the offensive end.
Bulls trail by 6. And a wide open look for Jordan. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
One item that stood out, their ball movement.
Things are definitely clicking. And more importantly, it makes it really hard to defend.
Now here's Jordan. 11 points in the game. We've got 1:08 left in the third quarter of the game. Levine with it. 10 points for him. Over Paxson. Levine, that's good. Levine's got 12 in the game.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
The shot's good from Paxson.
And you can just see his confidence is rising, bucket after bucket from long range.
Outside, Levine. Six on the shot clock. Pass to Vucevic. That's good, and it's Levine with the assist. Vucevic has got 6 here in this quarter.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
The Bulls keep it alive. Pippen for 3. That one misses. Left side, Levine. Well, it's been an exciting game. Plenty of offense as we head to the fourth quarter. Bulls lead by 4. From the United Center in Chicago. Back in a moment. And I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. Bulls trail by 4. Pass to Jordan. Puts it up from 12. Unable to get that one. So the Bulls will take it the other way. Now Vucevic. Kick out to Levine. Pick by Williams. Here's ball. Shot clock at 6. At the elbow, Vucevic. Shoots over Cartwright.
Solid D there by Cartwright. He has just enough athleticism to go along with that powerful base to make him a terrific defender.
Here is Armstrong. It's Jordan on the wing. He takes it in. Pass to Armstrong. That falls. Nice feed that time from Scottie Pippen.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
This was obviously a focal point coming out of the break. Look smart when the shots are going down.
DeRozan for 3. Back to Levine. And stolen by Jordan. All alone. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. It's on Zach LaVine.
Man, the body control and focus. I mean, Jordan able to draw the foul and still finish the basket.
To the middle. Here's Vucevic. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Vucevic has got 20.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Pass to Armstrong. Hands it from downtown. Armstrong's got the lead up to 1 now for the Bulls.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Adding to this lead, he's been dependable and consistent at the offensive end.
Here's Armstrong. He's now made half of those 10 shots in the game. That's his 5th basket.
And you want him taking big shots for you in big moments. That one was as easy as it gets.
And I don't think he expected to get that good of a look. Poor communication defensively. Loaded up with a lot of confidence, DeMar DeRozan can be a big-time performer.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, I was able to listen in on what Chicago's coach was going over with the team. He told them to stick with it. He said, this game is right here, guys. This is our game to take. Precision, purpose, and poise. Kevin, we'll see if they can get it done.
Thank you, David.
Okay, that's frustrating. You work hard to get these open looks. You know he liked that one back.
Here's Williams. That shot off. Nice D from Pippen. Pass to Grant. Oh, went in there and tried to power it down, but drew contact. He'll head to the line.
And that's a smart foul there. Instead of giving up the easy deuce, send him to the line.
And the second of 2 is good. That narrows the gap to 1. And here's Ball. He'll bring it up for the Chicago Bulls. They've held a 12-point lead early. To the paint. Here's Vucevic. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And one of the most underrated bigs in the NBA. Vucevic quietly dominates on a consistent basis.
Tight ball game. Who do you want at the charity stripe? This guy.
Here is Paxson. It's Jordan on the wing. A 3-ball. Nice D from DeRozan.
Man, at what point do you blame the play calling more than the player?
DeRozan on the wing. Shakes him. And the dunk. By DeRozan.
Very few defenders in this league feel comfortable with DeRozan coming right at them on the drive like that.
Paxson. Good on the triple.
And those are the types of shots down the stretch that win you ball game.
Pass to Vucevic. Over Pippen. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That one on Pippen. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Bulls.
Anytime you get as many points from the paint as they have, you know you've got a good thing going.
And another area where they've separated themselves, guys, is at the foul line. I mean, those extra points are starting to add up.
And then slammed in by Jordan.
Oh, my goodness. The creativity, the athleticism of Michael Jordan.
And stolen by Jordan. He drops the first one, and that narrows the gap to 1.
And the defining trait of the greatest of superstars. Jordan makes the players around him better, mentally, in terms of effort, and in terms of their performance.
Now, here's ball. Picked by Vucevic. Money!
Big-time basket at a big-time moment.
This is why we all watch. The NBA is about these moments.
Here's Grant. Pass to Jordan. Buries it from outside.
Yeah, coming down the stretch, they've become reliant upon their perimeter game.
You know, when you're raining threes, you can stack up points in a hurry, but it can go the other way as well.
And that bucket was absolutely huge. A defensive stop now may just seal the deal.
Outside Jordan. Pass to Paxson. Fires the three. And so the big win by Chicago in a tight game. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
I mean, these are those games that feel so great to win, and really, it's like a knife in the gut to
And it's our favorite day of the year at 2K Sports. At long last, it's time to roll the ball out there and get the new season. Of NBA basketball underway. I'm Brian Anderson, here with Grant Hill, Steve Smith, and Allie LaForce.
Here we go.
And so off the tip, it's Toronto. To the middle. Oh, and Towns with the block.
The defensive chops of Towns, able to use his length and timing to stifle shooters.
Pass to Beasley. Down low. And that's good. His first bucket of the game. Nothing more exciting than opening day in the NBA. Grant, how pumped are these players right now?
Oh, they are so pumped indeed. I mean, look, the offseason can be a long one, but every player loves when the games really start to count.
Now here's Russell. Out of bounds. It'll be Toronto's ball. And it's Toronto's ball. Kicks it out to Anunoby. From behind the arc. And again, Toronto no good. Russell from outside. Oh, clanks that one. He's 0 for 1 to start.
This is the shot they wanted to get. Right guy, right spot, wrong result.
Anunoby for 3. Rebounded by the Timberwolves.
And when you watch Towns, one thing is clear. He's one of the best in the league. He gives you so much when he's on the floor.
Pass to McDaniels. Boucher with a double team. And here's Edwards outside. Buries it from 3.
And that's what they want to do. Get him open looks early.
Van Vliet outside. Here's the 3. The 3 is up. Towns with a rebound. And you know, Grant, with Towns, he's arguably one of the top dozen big men in the league.
And you forget how young he is, B.A. I mean, a few years from now, he might be top 5. He has all the tools necessary to be a superstar.
This is the shot you want to get him. An open look from range.
Kicks it out to Barnes. And again, no good by Toronto. And here's Minnesota now. Good momentum, 8 straight points. Outside Edwards. Pass to Beasley. Back to Edwards. 6 to shoot. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Toronto trailing. Things just don't seem to be clicking for them offensively.
Yeah, they really need to find a way to get back on track.
Stolen by Siakam. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. And the Raptors making a change here. So it's Minnesota now. Here's Towns. Deflected. Here's Flynn. Launches a 3. Karl Anthony Towns comes up with a rebound. 1:53 left to play in the first quarter. Russell with the ball. It's stolen by Trent. Here comes Toronto on the push. And here's Siakam for 3. Now the Timberwolves with it. Good momentum, 8 straight points. Oh, wasted no time on that one.
I just love the ball movement.
1:27 left in the first quarter here. The kick out to Dragic. Trent from long range. The rebound by the Timberwolves. Edwards with it. Now guarded by Achua. From deep. Left side, Edwards. To the left wing. 6 on the shot clock. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Beverly with a steal. All by himself. And here's Beasley. To the paint. Pass to Edwards. Fires the three. Knocks down the triple. Edwards got 6.
Oh, it's just raining threes for them early.
To the inside. Stolen by Reed. Oh, deflected. 5-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Now Edwards. It's Beasley on the wing. 4 on the clock. From the high post. That one rolls around and rims out.
And that's okay. Even though you miss, you had the right guy taking the shot.
Flynn. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves. Up 14 as we wrap up the quarter. A big difference in shooting. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Timberwolves.
They didn't need any time to warm up from long range today. Their three-point shooting has been terrific in the first half.
Another aspect of their game that's been super so far tonight is how they've been sharing the ball and piling up the assist.
Here's Vanderbilt. They get it back. Here's Beverly. And there's the bucket. Staying with it that time. Offensive glass getting it done.
They really have a commanding lead, not just in points, but in rebounds as well.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Thanks, BA. The Minnesota Timberwolves and their sister franchise, the Lynx, under new management, or at least that's the plan starting in 2023. A key part of this sales agreement was stipulation that the teams remain in Minnesota, something that's got to make the fans in the Twin Cities very happy.
Oh, that's great news, Allie. Thanks for that. The Timberwolves need to get off a shot here. And it's going to be a 24-second violation. They turn it over. The Timberwolves making a switch here. Here's Van Vliet. Now quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. For 3, gets the 3 ball to go.
Nice find by Dragic. Great vision, unselfish basketball. You know what? We look back at Goran Dragic's career. He's always produced, BA, good efficiency from earlier in his career.
For 3. That one no good. And Toronto will go the other way with it. Next matchup, they'll be at home against the Wizards. And that's a one-game homestand for the club. And with Dragic, you forget how long he's been in the league.
You're so right. Didn't become a starter until his 4th year in the NBA. But he quickly showed his value in the starting lineup and has never had a problem finding steady minutes since then. Shutout in the first quarter. He's heating up now. I like the aggressiveness.
Pass to Reed. Reed sets a screen. And it's Towns penetrating. Okogie on the wing. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
Defensively, it's hard to account for everything. They gambled off him, and it worked.
And stolen by Beasley. To the wing, right side. Pass to Reed. Out to Beverly. Back to Reed. Ooh, and he took a hard foul on the shot. So he'll head to the line to shoot a pair. You had the chance to play under some terrific coaches, Smitty. How influential is good coaching on a team's success?
They really go hand in hand, B.A. The coach sets the tone for the whole team, and strong leadership leads to strong play out on the floor and likely a lot of wins.
Kicks it out to Barnes. Trent from long range. Rebound, Minnesota.
I'll tell you what, they've rebounded the ball tremendously well.
Beverly outside. Inside. Reed. A slam dunk by Reed.
We know Beverly's ability as a defender, but don't underestimate his ability as a distributor. He has good vision.
Towns gets the bucket. And the Timberwolves lead by 16.
Like a matador. Olay! There was no defense. That has to be one of the easier shots I've seen tonight.
And this is what happens when you start to break your opponent's spirit. The resistance is no longer there.
Reed sets a screen. Russell with the ball. And it's Boucher picking him up. Out to Beverly. No good on the triple. On offense, here come the Raptors. Here's Anunoby. Trent on the wing. Back to Anunoby. Launches it. Nails it from three. Anunoby's gotten himself going here. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Russell from outside. Barnes with the rebound.
Uncontested look. Can't fault the shot selection. He's money from there.
Three-pointer, Van Vliet. And it's rebounded by Karl Anthony Towns. 46 seconds left in the first half of basketball. A shot from the high post. Shoots. No good off the back of the rim. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Naz Reid. That's his first foul of the game. So both teams changing it up here. Trent outside. Right side Barnes. Flynn's shot is off. Pass to Edwards. Towns on a screen. He can't get it to go. Siakam with the defensive effort. Achua for three. Oh, he got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And the first half now in the books. The T-Wolves on. And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly in the second. Now here's Russell. Beasley outside. Fires the three. Toronto grabs the miss.
Yeah, and the defense has really got to tighten up on him. I mean, he's just too dangerous from the three-point line.
Down low. Here's Towns. Oh, good D by Boucher.
Probably should have scored there. He usually does.
Van Vliet with it. Russell covering. Pass to Boucher. Back to Siakam. To the right side. Van Vliet left side. The three from Barnes. That shot, no good.
And they're +5 on the boards after that rebound.
And a fast break now for the Raptors. And the basket by Mikhailuk.
He could have gone straight to the hole, but they'll take that three.
Minnesota in the lead. And with a little over a minute gone by, the second half is underway. Pass to Beasley. The three ball. No good on the shot.
The team loves what Boucher is starting to give them offensively. But the reason they signed him in the first place, rim protection. 6'11" with a 7'4" wingspan and quick hops.
Towns up top. Here's Edwards. That's in. Coming off an assist from Towns. Edwards got his third basket of the night.
This is who Towns is, an unselfish, versatile big man with great court awareness.
Kicks it out to Siakam. Out to the right wing. Takes the three. Drops in the three.
At the arc, Siakam can be so dangerous. When he gets an opening, he drills it.
Here's Russell. To the inside. Here's Towns. And it's powered home by Towns.
You see his link, the explosion, making sure of that one.
And coming out of the G League, it's amazing how quickly Boucher has earned major minutes.
B.A., it's been a surprise to everyone except for the team scouting department. High ceiling additions like Boucher can help make or break a roster. His progress has been exciting to watch.
Russell with the ball. Back to Towns. 5 on the clock. Outside Russell. Over Birch. Birch with some nice D.
Once he gets the ball there, you expect him to capitalize. That was a missed opportunity.
And Birch slams it in.
Now, B.A., you know they would love for him to get more of those opportunities.
Well, that would cut into the deficit quickly if he does. Towns on a screen. To the middle. Towns double team. Here's McDaniels. Pass to Beasley. Fires for three. Hits the trifecta. Beasley's got 6 points.
And this is what you want to do when you've got a big lead. You must stay aggressive.
I'm impressed with their intensity tonight. They've came in focused and they've executed.
Kicks it out to Barnes. Three-pointer, Van Vliet. Sends it home from three-point land. 9 points in the game.
The revenge triple loves seeing Fred Van Vliet come right back at him.
Pass to Towns. Back to Russell. And is blocked. And here's Birch. Covered by Towns. This one for three. Oh, again, Toronto with a triple.
And their perimeter shooting numbers have been up since the start of the second half.
Here's Edwards. Pass to Russell. Here's Towns. That shot's good. Russell making the play. And the Timberwolves lead by 6.
I like seeing Towns be aggressive from deep. He knows his teammates want him to shoot from there.
Now here's Siakam. Lets a three fly. Hits a three-pointer. Siakam's gotten his second bucket.
They are unconscious from outside. And so far, the defense has had no answer.
You know what? They talked about this at halftime, and they're doing a better job of creating space.
We're at the end of the third quarter, and we've still got a close one. Timberwolves ahead, leading by 3. And we'll return shortly. And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. Toronto trailing. Van Vliet outside. Pass to Mikhailuk to tie it up. The shot no good. Now Minnesota takes it the other way. At one point, they led by 16.
You gotta love how they've been crashing the boards, fighting hard for every miss. And in the second half here, they're shooting a terrific percentage from three.
And there's the foul. It's on D'Angelo Russell. That's his first foul. Here's Van Vliet. And stolen by Beasley. Three-pointer. Offensive board. Pass to Russell. Outside Edwards. Clock at 6. To the paint. Birch comes with a double. Russell from outside. Drills it from deep. And the Timberwolves lead by 9.
An assortment of shots in Russell's arsenal. Just a quick catch and shoot right there.
Now Siakam. Pass to Anunoby. The kick out to Van Vliet. And there's the foul. It's on D'Angelo Russell. That's foul number 2 for him. A few possessions into the fourth. Just over a minute played. Van Vliet outside. On target from range.
And he's really made his mark with the three-pointer today. And that's another big one.
Just think where they'd be without all the work he's done from the three-point line today.
And so it's going to be a 3-second violation there on the defense. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Timberwolves.
They've been playing such pesky defense. It's been very impressive, especially all the turnovers they've caused.
I'll tell you something else. The points they've scored on the fast break tonight have been a major factor.
Inside. It's stolen by Birch. Here comes Toronto on the push. Dragic with it. Russell covering. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Naz Reid. That's foul number 2 for him.
They're having a hard time with fouls. It's still early, but one more and they'll be over the limit.
The Timberwolves making a switch here.
I had a chance to find out what Nick Nurse was discussing with his players. He wants them to show more heart, saying, quote, they are outworking us, you guys. At some point, you've got to decide you want to box out and that you want to protect the ball. He does not sound too pleased with the performance. Back to you.
Three-pointer, Van Vliet. Good. 5 for 9 shooting so far.
A dozen consecutive points off of threes. This defense looks rattled.
Pass to Okogie. Now Reid, guarded by Van Vliet. Down low. Drops in the layup for 2.
Terrific pass. That's the unselfishness you want to see. Beverly's all about the team.
Van Vliet outside. Pass to Siakam. Just 5 to shoot. The Raptors need to get off a shot. Fires in the triple. Dragic has got his first 3 points of the game.
Man, they're having a hard time defending the triple. That's 3 in a row.
Here's Balmaro. To the middle. A slam dunk by Reid.
One of the cases where height fails to tell you the whole story.
So it's both teams making substitutions here. And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth now. And here's Van Vliet. Pass to Trent. Lets it go from deep. Towns with a rebound.
Every possession counts for them right now. That's not going to get it done.
Minnesota in the lead. Now Russell. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket is good, and he'll go to the line.
He's pouring it on at a nice clip, and the rest of the team is stepping up as well.
Here's Toronto with the ball. 8-point game. Pass to Trent. The three is up. Good. And Van Vliet gets the assist.
I like how Fred Van Vliet stays patient. Eyes up, finds the breakdown in the defense.
Here's McDaniels. Outside Russell. Towns with the ball. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. They'll pin that one on Pascal Siakam.
For a big, Towns is an effective free throw shooter. You really can't give him too many looks from the line.
And so he drops them both, and it's a 7-point game.
Good job. Want to keep fueling that lead. Make your free throws.
Trent outside. And the Raptors, another 3.
Coming down the stretch, they've leaned on the perimeter game.
You know, when you're raining threes, you can stack up points in a hurry, but it can go the other way as well.
There's 53 seconds left to play in the fourth. Trent outside. Kicks it out to Siakam. And a miss there on the triple. And here's Minnesota now. At one point, they led by 16. Outside Russell. To the inside. Here's Towns. And play stops as it looks like an over-the-back call here.
Well, you always want to play aggressive on the boards, but he was a little too aggressive that time.
Yeah, there's an art to snatching rebounds from behind, but most players can't pull it off. Tim Duncan was one of the best.
Here's Russell. And the call will be against Fred Van Vliet. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the line for 2. He hits the first one, and that puts him up 5. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 6-point ball game. Trent outside. Let's go with a 3. Goes back up. Pass to Boucher. Outside Anunoby. Takes a 3. He's off on that one. And so it's Minnesota with the W. Boy, a hard-fought game. They did a great job of holding on to the lead at the end.
Yeah, get the coffee, because that's the way to close. You're going to face some obstacles in the game.
And we've been waiting for this day. For a long time. It's opening day in the NBA. Thanks for joining us as we start the new season. Joined by Hall of Famer Grant Hill, NBA champion Steve Smith, and our reporter Allie LaForce. This is Brian Anderson. It's the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Clippers. Now here's Jackson. He takes it in. Good on the shot. Another season underway for the NBA. Grant, was there an opening night that sticks out in your mind?
Well, for me, rookie year opening night is always special. Came out the gates 25, 10, and 5. Of course, 2004 was special, too, after not playing the entire previous year.
Tucker. Adebayo, that's good.
Nice shot from Bam there, embracing any opportunity he gets to score in close.
It's George on the wing. That basket is good. Off the assist from Jackson.
Defensively, you have to stay connected to him on the perimeter.
And Lowry gets doubled. Outside Robinson. Gets the three ball to go.
We've seen that from Lowry for a long time. A fantastic passer of the basketball.
Pass to George. Fires the three. Can't hit. 1 for 2 now. And it's Miami's ball. And with Paul George, Grant, you know what he delivers. Very consistent in what he'll bring to each game.
I mean, the scoring is always going to be there, but his defense doesn't take a night off either. I mean, very nice and consistent production from him.
Here's Butler. And that's good. His first bucket of the game.
Wow, the strength of Jimmy Butler fends off defenders well when he goes up to score.
The three ball. Knocks down the triple.
He made the most of that opening, teaching the defense a lesson.
Now here's Lowry. It's tipped. And they'll keep possession. Stolen by Jackson. For three, George. And the Clippers hit again from deep.
He doesn't need much time to get his shot off. Paul George is a dependable catch-and-shoot option.
Lowry with it. He's picked up by Zubac. Lowry outside. For three, Robinson. And again, Miami with a triple.
I mean, beautiful execution of the game plan offensively. So far, they are hitting 80% from the field.
And we're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. Kennard on the wing. 6 to shoot. Pass to George. And it's off from three-point range. Miami trailing. Lowry left side. Tucker up top. Adebayo with it. Launches it. And it's Robinson with the three. Robinson's got 9.
Not many bigs have Bam Adebayo's vision. Just another reason this coaching staff trusts him with the ball.
Knocks it loose. Butler with a steal. A minute 15 left to play in the first. Inside. Adebayo drives in. Can't get a second shot to fall. Now 1 of 2. Here's George. He has 6. Pass to Batum. 6 on the shot clock. George, his shot is good. Give him 8.
He's hot this quarter, getting the shots he wants, and he's delivering.
Lowry with it, and it's Bledsoe picking him up. Now here's Lowry. Now quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. To the paint. Adebayo. Basket counts.
Bam is a pro at absorbing contact, especially when he's locked in on scoring.
Back to Batum. Pass to Kennard. Bledsoe outside. Ibaka for 3. It's hauled in by the Heat. Outside Robinson. And the Heat, another 3.
He's been so aggressive on offense, and with the results, you understand why.
You know why? Success breeds confidence, and he's certainly been successful from there, time and time again.
The scoring is fast and furious as we end the first. Heat out in front. They lead by 5. Don't go. If you're just joining us, we played through 1 quarter in this one. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Miami.
They didn't need any time to warm up from long range today. Their three-point shooting has been terrific in the first half.
Another aspect of their game that's been super so far tonight is how they've been sharing the ball and piling up the assist.
The kick out to Morris. Hero for 3. They grab their own miss. Outside Butler. Dedmon a screen. Another shot. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair.
I mean, it is crazy to think how far Jimmy Butler has come. I mean, didn't see a lot of the floor in his first 2 seasons. Then soon after, he made 4 straight All-Star games.
Butler hits them both. And Butler in his career, Grant, he won Most Improved Player in 2015.
I mean, it's like he became a 20 points per game player overnight. You feel like Butler just needed a chance in the NBA. And I'll tell you what, he's made the most of everything he's had.
Pass to Leonard. Here's Mann. Puts up a 3. It's hauled in by Robinson. And here's Butler. Back to Hero. Starting the second quarter, about a minute gone. The Clippers grab the miss.
With that much room around him, it's hard to imagine he could have gotten a better shot.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Well, the Heat culture is all about work, and this roster is littered with overachievers. Jimmy Butler said, quote, "The Miami Heat look for those diamonds in the rough. Players that are hungry, players that have some dog in them and play for one another. These guys do what it takes to be in the league for a while." Brian?
Boy, they compete, right, Allie? Thanks for that. Shot by Leonard, no good.
And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. He just missed it.
Here's Leonard. Well, he hasn't put up any points yet in this one. Back to Jackson. Over to the left wing. No good from the wing. The Heat with the lead. Hero outside. Oh, got a piece of it. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Robinson.
Miscommunication oftentimes leads to turnovers. That's something they'll want to discuss.
And it's a defensive 3-second violation. Well, you hear about the importance of confidence. You think that was something you always had as a player, Grant, or did you have to build that up?
Well, I mean, success ultimately does breed confidence. And I had success, fortunately, at a young age. So you have to understand you have to always attack, and you always have to believe in yourself no matter what the situation.
And here's Miami. It's a three-point game. Hero with it. Pass to Oladipo. Here's Dedmon. Kawhi Leonard comes up with a rebound. Here in quarter two, we played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Ooh, and Leonard throws it down.
That's the leadership they're looking for from Jackson. Staying patient, surveying the court, locates the open man.
Hero outside. Oladipo on the wing. Clock at 6. The Heat need to get one up in a hurry. Again, the Heat misses. To the inside. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair. It goes on Victor Oladipo.
I like that. I mean, some physical play inside. He's not about to give up any easy baskets.
And a new group getting ready for the Clippers. Miami trailing. Hero with it. And Ibaka picks him up defensively. Trying to get back on track. Dedmon, good. Dedmon's got his first 2 points.
Off the pick, Hero loves to rise and fire, but that time he becomes the playmaker.
Back to George. Knocks down the long J. George has got 11 points.
Wow, their opponent is doing a tremendous job spacing the floor.
So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting.
The former #2 overall pick in 2013, Oladipo gives you production, but he also plays with a bit of an edge.
And he knocks down the first one. And no doubt, when he's rolling, Oladipo strikes fear in the hearts of the opponents.
Yeah, B.A., I mean, he's merciless on the attack. He plays with so much heart and passion. Not much fun to play against, but he's exciting to watch.
And almost 4 minutes gone in the second quarter of play. Down low. Doesn't go for him. The Heat go the other way with it.
This has been a close game in a lot of ways, but they do have an edge on the boards.
Oh, George with a steal. Kicks it out to Bledsoe. Shot clock at 6. Here's Batum. Off target from outside. A chance at a 2-for-1.
You have to find ways to use the clock to your advantage.
To the middle. Here's Adebayo. And he gets that one. He has 6.
Way to rise to the occasion and snatch back the momentum.
That's the competitor in him. Close game. Let me have this one.
Three-pointer. Batum gets the bucket. Batum's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
What vision from Bledsoe. A point who can score it and dish it.
Hero for 3. It doesn't go for him. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. The Clippers on top, leading by 1. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during halftime. Miami calls timeout. Pass to Adebayo. For three, Oladipo. Yes, and it's Adebayo picking up the assist. Oladipo's got 5 now. And it's amazing. Neither team has been able to hold the lead for any length of time.
Yeah, these guys are leaving it all on the floor tonight.
Now Hero. Well, no scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
I know he's on a cold streak, but he can't let that get in his head.
And his rhythm, it's been way off. The goal now might be to get him something easy at the rim so he can just see the ball go in through the net, and that helps.
6 on the shot clock. Nice shot by George.
Backing up that last 3 with another 3. The defense has to stop giving them so many clean looks.
You have to feel a bit for Paul George. Had a rough go of things ever since he labeled himself Playoff P. He knows he'll have a spotlight on him because of that moniker.
Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. Knocked loose. Oh, it's stolen by Oladipo. Here's Hero. And good. Coming on the setup by Oladipo. Hero's got his first basket.
An aggressive move to a strong finish.
He is just unwilling to settle. He gets right to the rim and makes sure they come away with points.
And with George, he caught flack for that, but he used the noise as motivation, Smitty.
And it pushed him to some of his best basketball yet. Paul George always shows up in the playoffs, but he'll need to win a title to lose the doubters once and for all.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
Two-part equation. You have to be aggressive enough to get to the line, then talented enough to sink them.
Back to Lowry. Tucker with a screen. 4-3. And Lowry is good for 3. Lowry's gotten himself going here. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Jackson outside. And that's a foul called on Duncan Robinson. That's his first foul. Miami on D. The lead is 2. It's George on the wing. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Pass to Butler. And the 3 off target. And the Clippers with the ball. Leonard outside. He's off on that one. Ooh, good work defensively by Butler.
Only 1 for 4 in this half. Sometimes it's execution. Sometimes the shots just don't go down.
And I love how he's pushing the tempo and creating for others. He does this game in and game out. Incredible.
You know what it is? It's his creativity. That's making this engine run.
Leonard for 3.
Ugly start to this half. Hitting just 20% from the field. Gotta pick it up.
Here's Tucker. The 3. Nails it from beyond the arc. And now a 7-point Heat lead.
Their ball movement on this run has been tremendous. It's led to a lot of good, clean, open looks.
And Kyle Lowry is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul of the game.
I have to admit, it's always a tough decision for the ref on the block charge call.
Batum gets the bucket.
He's the last guy you want to leave alone on the perimeter. .119 left in the third.
to the inside. On the break. And the jam by Ibaka.
And for Serge nowadays, most of his offense comes from beyond the arc or at the rim.
Adebayo sets a screen. For three, Robinson. Rebound by the Clippers.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
Pass to man. Can't get the go-ahead bucket. The Heat with the lead. Here's Butler. Money from 17 feet out. Butler's got his second bucket on the night.
The closer the better for Jimmy, but his strong mechanics can make the mid-range work.
Lowry with it, and it's Bledsoe picking him up. Lowry outside. Clock at 6. And Lowry gets doubled. For three, Robinson. Here's Adebayo. Hits the layup after the sweet pump fake to freeze the D. Adebayo's gotten 4 this quarter. Ibaka. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. That one on Tucker.
You see Serge in the painted area, feels the defender, goes on the attack. Because he knows he makes a living at the line, he invites contact and sometimes even initiates it.
And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Heat out in. And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. The Clippers trail. Kicks it out to Jackson. Pass to George. For 3. That's his 6 make in 11 tries.
You need guys who can stretch the floor or the offense doesn't flow. Paul George is one of the best at it.
Good work defensively by Leonard.
Unusual for him, just a lack of concentration. Fails to finish the play.
Out of bounds as Los Angeles keeps possession. On the clock.
And everyone knows what an elite defender Kawhi Leonard is. I mean, he's a former Defensive Player of the Year, and he can still shape games with his defense.
All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Heat.
What tremendous passing we've seen from them today. A very unselfish performance all around.
The other thing, they continue to fill it up from three-point range, making it look easy.
Here's Oladipo. Hero outside. Oladipo outside. Pass to Adebayo. Shoots over Ibaka.
What do you love about Serge on this end? Has the lateral quickness and hops to really challenge shooters.
For 3, George. Book it again. 7 for 12 and going at the defense. And with Leonard, he's just as sharp as ever with his stifling defense.
Oh, his versatility is incredible. I mean, he can guard the toughest forward or guard each game, and he still has the energy to go out there and get numbers on the offensive end as well. They have a never-give-up attitude.
Well within striking range. Now is when you have to lock in at both ends.
Pass to Adebayo. Basket is good with the setup from Oladipo. And the Heat lead by 1.
Throughout the evening, he's gotten to his spots, and the defense has not adjusted.
And the call will be against Tyler Hero. That's his first foul. Both teams will make substitutions. And Kawhi Leonard gets a whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth here. And here's Oladipo. Double team on Oladipo. Here's Dedmon. And he throws it down. What a terrific lead pass.
Drawing so much attention, Oladipo rotates the ball to the open man.
We're in the fourth quarter here. Just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Just 5 on the clock. The Clippers got to hurry. Late clock here. And the basket by Leonard.
He lives for moments like this because he wants to be the guy to hit the clutch shot.
Got a piece of it. Oh, George with a steal. Counted. Now 8 for 13 with that basket. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for Los Angeles.
They've been playing such pesky defense. It's been very impressive, especially all the turnovers they've caused.
Another thing, they haven't missed a beat on the fast break in either half tonight.
And Leonard throws it down hard.
Well, we know Leonard's an elite two-way machine, but there he shows us the artistry.
Pass to Morris. It's stolen by Leonard. And the layup is good off the glass. Now it's a 4-point Los Angeles lead.
Hey, they really needed that one. Big time move inside.
So much riding on that possession. Just a huge shot. What determination on that play.
And a bit of a battle for the ball. And the officials signal a jump ball here. Ibaka with a steal. From behind the arc. George's shot is off. For 3, Robinson. And it's the Clippers with the rebound.
Okay, when you're trying to make a comeback, you can't be hucking up low percentage threes. You have to find a better shot within the offense.
And the foul called on Victor Oladipo. That's his 3rd foul of the game. So both teams making some changes here. Jackson, the screen. Down low. Ooh, good finish at the rack off a slick feed. And the Clippers lead by 6.
Well, Paul knows the defense is locked in on him, so he takes advantage and finds the open man.
Pass to Adebayo. Back to Robinson. Outside Tucker. Robinson on the wing. Shot clock at 5. Here's Adebayo. Count it! And now they trail by just 4.
Nice work in there by Adebayo. He sets a physical tone for this team.
Now 5 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock. Now here's George. Back to Jackson. Oh, it's stolen by Butler. Oh, George with a steal. Hook loose. And stolen by Adebayo. And here's Lowry from the arc. No good there. So a close game sees the Clippers taking this one. This one was in the balance right until the final seconds.
NBA, they showed their character when it mattered most.
you.